Speaking on that, let me just talk about boys for a second. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is relationships. So for my personal experience, I've only been in like one boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and I'm 20 now, so kind of gives you a little overview of me. Don't live life with regrets. I feel like everything happens for a reason. I learned a lot about things I want. I learned a lot about myself and things like that. I wouldn't say don't date in high school, but I would say a lot of times in high school, like even because it was my senior year, but I feel like a lot of times in high school, you're still learning yourself. The other person is still learning themselves. So it's just a lot. And with relationships, I feel like that goes beyond just boyfriends, girlfriends. I feel like that goes into friends. I feel like that goes into family. Whatever the case is, relationships come and go, honestly. And you can't force a relationship to stay in your life if God has other plans. It's not saying that you guys have to have beef or whatever the case is, but things just happen. People grow apart, and that's just life. The next thing I'm going to talk about is moving on. At first, it was hard because every time I would tell myself I was going to move on, I ended up coming right back. Just because of like the love I had for that person, I put that over my own, personal needs. Like I put that to the side and I put us first, and really and truly that was not the way to go about it. And that kind of ended up hurting the both of us when I think about it. But honestly, it's okay to move on as well. Like you can just tell that person, regardless of the relationship, friends, whatever, like, hey, I don't think this is working out anymore. I'm just growing, whatever the case may be. However, for relationships, I know that it can be a lot harder if you guys are dating. I would say that was me. Like I said, that love, it's there, it's strong. It's really hard to move on from that person, especially if the way they're talking is making you feel like you're really hurting them. That makes it 10 times harder to move on if you love and actually care for that person. It could be right person, wrong timing. You just never know what the case is, but you really need to focus on putting your needs first. I also want to talk about the single season. With the single season, I'll say like right now I'm in my single season. Actually really enjoying it. I'm learning to find myself. I'm just learning how to like navigate life alone. And I feel like that's okay. Like a lot of times, especially in today's world, you see everybody booed up. Valentine's Day is around the corner. You see everybody, oh, what are you getting for this and that? What are you doing for Valentine's? Or who are you going to be with? And all this different stuff. And it's like you don't need somebody, to complete you. It's okay to be alone. Like for me, being alone at first, coming out of a dating phase to just being myself, at first I was kind of like, okay, what now? Because it's like I spent so much of my time with you and doing things for you and vice versa that it's like now I'm the only person that I can cater to. I'm the only person when I wake up in the morning. I'm the only person giving myself a good morning text. Nobody else is going to be doing those things for you when you're in your single season. But I feel like a lot of times the single season is like underrepresented because there's just so much positivity that goes into the single season. I'm not saying that you're going to have days where you might look and see somebody and be like, I kind of miss that. You kind of miss that relationship sometimes. Or sometimes you just kind of miss having friends, because you even lose those sometimes, and you might just find yourself kind of more alone than you'd want to be. And especially as a female, like I know, like I don't know, like if it's my period, I'm not sure what it is, but there's some days where I just feel like I'm gonna cry, and I really don't know why. I just know that I do. I'm not sure what the root of the problem is, but I just know that I want to cry. Sometimes it's loneliness. Other times, like I said, I'm not sure what it is. And one thing I have realized also, it's okay to cry, y'all. It's okay to cry. It's okay to express your feelings. I personally think that it's good to be in your feelings. One thing I love about being single is I have a lot of time to myself, a lot of time to process my thoughts, a lot of time to figure out who I want to be, what kind of image I want to portray. There's just so much that goes into being single. I get up in the morning, I have the day to myself sometimes. That's me going to treat myself to brunch, or me going with my best friends and we're all going out to eat, or nobody else is going to buy you those flowers, so you've got to get them flowers for yourself. It's okay to spoil yourself. Like this Valentine's Day, I might be getting myself a little food or something because I like to eat. But even then, it doesn't need to be a special occasion, or it shouldn't be for you to look at other people and see that they're together, be like, okay, I need to treat myself. No, like, prioritize yourself more. That's one thing I feel like a single season would teach you, is that you also need to take care of your own priorities. And I feel like that is very important, because when you love yourself, it also teaches you how others should be treating you, especially when you get into that dating phase. You know, if you're dating a girl, you're dating a boy, whatever the case may be, you know, it shows you, okay, I do this for myself, or I cater to myself in this ways. If they're not living up to your standards and like how you want to be treated, then maybe that's not right. And I feel like that's a lot of the things that I learned coming out of my dating phase. And now that I'm treating myself, it's like, going into my next relationship, I kind of know some of the things that I want and different things like that. But honestly, you just really got to enjoy the season that you're in. Like, for right now, I'm in the single season. I'm enjoying it. I'm not out here searching for the next big thing. Also, because I'm a Christian, and I feel like God will bring me my kingdom spouse when the timing is right. If he wants me to get married, he's going to do that in his own timing. So prayer is another thing that's really important. I feel like, especially, honestly, it doesn't matter. Dating season, single season, whatever. Because some Christians don't even believe in dating. Because really, the Bible doesn't say anything about dating. It says go right into marriage. So if you're praying about things like that while you're single, you should be praying for that kingdom spouse. I pray for the Lord to bypass relationships that don't end up in marriage. I just want to bypass them. I don't even want to go, because it's just going to end up with me being hurt, you know. The next thing I'm going to talk about is navigating friendships. Say with my own personal friendships, friends that I've had in high school, I still have to this day. Like, boys like my brothers, the girls, those are my sisters. And there's friends that I talk to every single day that I wake up and I'm like, good morning. And they're like, good morning back. And we going through the day. How was your day? You know. And then there's also friends that I don't talk to 24/7, but I know that we're still cool. You know, if I'm hanging out or I'm going to the beach or something, I'll be like, hey, y'all trying to join, or whatever the case may be. So there's different kind of friendships. But I do feel like navigating friendships can be hard once you get out of high school, because everybody's kind of choosing their own pathway. And I feel that it makes it even harder when you're not sure what pathway you want to go on yet. Like, for me, I knew I wanted to do college, but my first few weeks of college was really rough. Like, I didn't know if I could do it. I was like, okay, should I drop out? What's really going on? I'm not feeling this. And then I'm seeing like all my other friends doing all these things, or they're doing well in college. I'm just like, what's up? And I'm not sure, like, what does God want me to do? Like, I was stressed out. But you really just got to focus on yourself. That's really the next time when you need to just kind of start realizing, okay, what do I want? Because like for me, for example, I'm going to tell y'all, I have 2 friends that are in college with me. 2. The rest of them are not in college. They're either going to go later or they're not going at all. And so in that kind of lifestyle, sometimes it can be easy to kind of be like, well, what if I should be doing what they're doing? Or, you know, you're worried. Like, am I doing enough? You know, and also being in college makes it harder, because it's like you can't always work when you want, so you're not getting the money that you want when you want. But you got to shift that mindset, you know. Everybody has a different pathway, and God has a plan for everybody. So, like, I know a good amount of my friends are influencers, and so that's what they do for a living. You know, they go out, they make videos, they make content, and that's just what they do. That's their niche. I have, like I said, 2 friends. We're all in college together getting these degrees, and that's just us, the 3 of us, and that's it. I have other friends just working and perfecting their craft, or whatever the case may be. So everybody is different. But also with navigating friendships, I'm not going to sit here and say my friendships have been a walk through the park, because it has not. I've went through problems with some of my closest girlfriends. I've been through issues with my brothers, like, and just navigating different things. Yeah, we argue a lot. There may have been times where we stopped talking to each other at once, but overall, we still value the friendship over any kind of argument that we've ever been through. And I feel like that's what really keeps us, you know, close-knit and keeps us tight. And that's what I really cherish about them. Cherish those people that really care for you, and vice versa. You never know when you can lose somebody. You never know when God's going to say, okay, their timing is up. So while you have them in your life, it's best to cherish them. The next thing I'm going to talk about is Christianity, y'all. So I label myself as a Christian. Yes, I'm proud to say it. You know, I will spread that awareness all the time. But I'm not perfect, you know. I would like to say, as one of my friends says, a work in progress. And that's exactly what I am. Like, in today's day, it is very, very hard to navigate Christianity in this world. You know, you have all these outside sources trying to get in. Like, you looking at social media, there's all these different things. And just the outside world in general, like, you go on YouTube, they're talking about this. You go on social media, they're talking about that. You know, they're over here dancing like this kind of way. They're acting like that kind of way. And it's the so-called trend. And honestly, I'm going to say it's a lot easier said than done. It really is, at least for me. Things that I'm battling right now, I didn't used to battle, but I'm battling out it right now. Like lustful thoughts and temptation, that's really, really like an issue. I feel like in society, period, not even with just me. I feel like a lot of people go through these things, but it's not really widely talked about. Or a lot of times in today's world, it's cool to lose your virginity and just continue, doing whatever you want to do. That's honestly the trend for a lot of society, and that's just what it has come to be. So if you're trying to be a Christian, you're trying to live out according to God's words, that makes it 10 times harder, because it's like, let's say you like a dude, for example. You tell your friends or y'all haven't done anything. Some people are going to look at you like, girl, what are you doing? Like, as a Christian, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. If that person is not leading you, my rule is if that person is not leading you towards God, out the door. Christianity and kind of relationships, I would say here, let me just talk about boys for a second. Y'all, it's hard too. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. It's hard because being single opens up every single door. Because when you're in a committed relationship, you're just focused on that one person. You're building bonds with that one person, connection with that one person. When you're single, it's free game. It's really free game. You can go do whatever you want, be with whoever you want, So I feel like it's really hard to navigate. And for me, one of the things not an issue, but it's an issue, is trust. Being able to trust people. Because when you're just in the season of getting to know people, maybe they might be more than a friend, they might not be. It's hard because males, they think one way. Females, they think another, and y'all aren't always on the same page. So then it creates confusion. Everybody doesn't want to be upfront because you're not sure how that person feels about you. XYZ, that person may not want to be in a relationship right now, but they still like. There's just so much that goes into that, especially like when you're single. Like there's so much that goes into that, y'all. And I don't really even have a set answer for that. One thing I will say though, if a dude is flirting with you, that doesn't mean anything. That's what I've come to realize. Because I used to be like, okay, he's flirting. That means he likes me. Then if I go and ask him whether he likes me or not, he might say no just because of whatever the case may be. Or maybe the female, like for instance, like let's say I thought you were flirting, but then when I went to ask you about it or I talked about it, he was like, no, I wasn't. That's why I say like males and females think two separate ways. Because what you think is flirting is not that person's thing. So that's difficult to navigate, really. And honestly, truly, one thing I would say is just until they give you that ring, not saying you can't take them seriously, but the Bible says to get married. You're supposed to get married to your kingdom spouse. So anybody can flirt with you. You can do whatever with whomever. But at the end of the day, you can't really take anybody serious until they propose to you. Because that's just how it is, to be honest. Like, girls are emotionally wired, and that's just how we work. So things that one does and different things like that, we run off of emotion. So you might feel happy because he did this one day, then the next day he not texting you back for whatever reason, then all of a sudden you feel sad. You might want to cut him off. You might want to, be on his phone like, what happened? Like, it's so much that goes into that, y'all. And what I'm learning is you can't get emotionally attached to a dude. Like, yeah, y'all can be friends, but a lot of times girls will sometimes fantasize. They'll fantasize that the boy is doing more than he is actually doing. Or they'll have in their head, okay, he likes me or he's going to make me this or that. And that's not always the truth. Not saying that they're not, but you can't rush it. The male is supposed to be the leader, first of all. Second of all, like I said, if they're not showing no ring, and I'm not saying run and get married, but all I'm saying is protect yourself, Another thing I've realized, cutting people off. So I have one of my really closest friends, and he got on me about this, and I'm so happy that he did, is cutting people off. Because for me, not saying the slightest thing, but like certain things you would do, I'll be like, I used to think if I'm texting you good morning and one day I go without it and you don't text me good morning, I'm cutting you off. But one of the rules he told me to go by is you should think about, does that person bring you more harm than good in your life? If they don't, then you don't necessarily need to cut them off. Friends do not text every day for everybody. And that's another thing I learned. Because I used to be like, oh, you don't text me every day? Or oh, you don't text me every few days? Cut. And that's just not fair. People go through life. Everybody doesn't feel comfortable talking to you about things that they're going through. You just got to be okay with that. You can reach out a lending hand like, hey, I'm here for you. Then go on about your day, live your life, If they're there, they're there. You've told them that you're there. You can pray for them, whatever the case may be. But go on about your life. Self-care, y'all. It's very important. Whether you're in a relationship, whether you're single, especially when you're single. Because all you have is time on your hands. And with times comes a lot of thinking, a lot of emotion. Because nobody's there to pull you out of that. So with self-care, I would say that's very important. Like getting your nails done, getting your feet done, getting your hair done, buying yourself some clothes or whatever you like. Honestly, like y'all gonna laugh, but I went and bought me a flower Lego set and I sat there and built it. Like I enjoy doing that. Like just exploring that. Like I'm having fun doing that. I buy my own flowers, y'all. I went and bought me a vase, and every week, I kid you not, I will have some kind of flowers in there. They might be half dead, but I still took the initiative to go put them in there. And I try to just keep these constant things going. Like I try to do like face masks once a week, or whenever I just feel like I had a hard day, I try to come back and prioritize myself, y'all. Put myself first, just focus on myself. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is finding your purpose. So this can sometimes be a lot easier said than done. I know, because I've dealt with it. And I'm still dealing with it. Like I feel like I'm getting close to knowing my purpose, but I just, there's always kind of that doubt in the back of your mind sometimes. And I just feel like that's me. I want to be a teacher when I grow up. And a lot of times I get mixed signals about this. Some people are like, oh, great. Other people are like, you're not going to be able to make it in this world with the pay of a teacher. That didn't really affect me to where I was like, okay, I'm not a teacher no more. I'm just going to be a doctor or something. Nah, doctor ain't not for me. But it just kind of made me think, okay, is this what God wants? And it turns out that's exactly what God wanted. God's, he's going to provide you what he believes that you need. So there's no need to worry about any of that. I would say just focus on finding your craft, perfect that craft and just work on it. Whether you're going to college, whether you're not going to college, like that's also what I love about my friend group. We all have different goals. We all have different dreams, but everybody's working. There's just so many life lessons that one can learn. Like, y'all, I'm only 20 and I've learned so much. I've only been in one relationship in my life. And it's just so much that I've learned through the span of like high school on down. Like really the peak season was once I entered my relationship. That's really when everything started to kind of hit for real, y'all. I will also say another thing is don't compare your life. You're going to see other people traveling and all these different things, but don't compare your life. What you're doing right now, you're okay with. Other people may have more money than you, and that's okay. It's okay to say, I can't come out today. It's okay to say no. It's okay to stay inside. You don't have to go with everybody else, Do what you feel comfortable with, Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this girl talk. Let me know if y'all want some more girl talks. Comment and subscribe. Let me know what else y'all want to see, and peace out.